What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Man, I really want to have a discussion about the city girl mayor. I know many of you have seen me making such videos, but I'd like to talk about it today. And the reason why is because, obviously the lady has a lot of things going on. I'm not even going to play any clips today. I'm going to just talk straight on the video. She has a lot of issues. Issues with black women, issues with black men. They tell me that she's a single mother to the father is not there, spending the taxpayers' money, unaccountable, vindictive. And I've been trying to figure this out for about 43 years. Why are some people from the community like this? I mean, I know that everybody is not like it, but why are they like it, right? And I tried to understand, why was my grandma like this, my great grandma like her, so many women in the black community that we know that could remind you of Tiffany Henyard. This is like, when you see Tiffany Henyard, we definitely have some sweet ladies in the community for sure. I would never discount that. I'm not talking about those ladies, but it's every brother in every city. When you see Tiffany Henyard, you know many people that resemble her. We know that. And black men have been trying to figure out how to either do two things. How do you avoid such people? Which is the first thing that most black men try to do if we have some sense, depending on how good she looks and how thick she looks. Now, I don't think Tiffany Henyard got a big old booty or anything like that, because if she did, it would still be somebody trying to get at it. But if depending on how good she looks, if she's not that good looking, we can get away from it. But if she has top, bottom, light skin or dark skin, big old booty, yes, some brothers are gonna be in trouble, right? But largely how to avoid that. Secondarily, how to deal with it. I used to be in the number 2 crowd, which is, how do you deal with somebody that you feel largely has an attitude or a disdain towards you, a disdain towards anybody, unaccountable, is problematic, and sees the world from a silly vantage point? How do you deal with that person? And it dawned on me, this person probably has a mental issue. That's all that I can break it down to. And I made this discovery, and we always talk about, she crazy, right? She crazy. A lot of black men said that, but we were just, brothers were just saying that. But hold on, wait a minute, hold on. If it cannot be explained, if you can't figure out what is a person's motivation for being like that, the only other logical answer is that person must be crazy. Let me give you an example. Tiffany Henyard, when you hear her talking, and you hear how she's acting in the government as the mayor, all of the charges leveraged against her, a normal person that had any kind of perception of reality would look upon oneself and say, man, this is going to be political turmoil for me. I should probably chill out. Do you understand that people like Tiffany Henyard and Fannie Willis and Monique Owen and Natalie Hall, they don't have the ability to understand their current reality or the damage they're doing to their future? They don't have that ability. It doesn't matter that they had the ability to go to college and get a law degree or to be functional in the private sector. That's different. We look at that person as, that person must not be that crazy because they went to school and graduated. Well, Ted Kaczynski was the Unabomber and he had a PhD in mathematics from Cal Berkeley. But that don't mean that he wasn't crazy, right? Not saying that what they did is the same thing that he did, but I'm just making the point that does not indicate that the man is not crazy. You can definitely graduate from very great schools and have proficiency and knowledge and skill set and be completely out of this world. We've seen it. Let's get back to Tiffany Henyard. A person who will lie blatantly on Roland Martin. He asked the lady, do you have a charity? Nope, don't got a charity. Then plays the clip of her saying, I started this charity. Then uses the money from Dolton Township to put money into a charity, which is a crime. And then to believe that nobody would ever find it or find out about it. To think the rest of the world is stupid. How do you make light of such a situation? How do you make light of it? How can you explain it? There is only one way to explain it. That person has a mental illness usually. That person is crazy. So let's break it down for some of you guys who are having dating problems. I agree that many of us could do well in our abilities of interacting with the opposite sex. Some men could understand some patience here and there, some levels of charisma, give or take. I know some guys are passport bros, don't want to deal with it. Fine. What dating coaches cannot explain? How do you deal with somebody that's a lunatic. Dating somebody who's crazy, who doesn't make any sense. Interacting with a person who lives in La La Land. Have you ever talked to a person, been in a relationship with a person, and they completely live in a different world that nobody else lives in? Their expectations of what should happen in their world is completely unrealistic. Let me tell you an example. I had the displeasure of dating a woman who was also into the social media business in a different way. This person wanted to start a clothing brand. Her reasoning for starting a clothing brand was, well, people know me, so they will buy from me. But I was telling her, honey, but you don't know anything about clothes. There are a lot of people who make clothes. Oh, but it matches the industry that I'm in because, I'm like, influencing in fashion. I'm like, okay. Do you know how long it takes to run that business? Oh yeah, but I'll have a guy who makes the clothes. I could just market it on my Instagram and people will buy it. I said, but that's what everybody else does. But yeah, but people really support me and I know it's gonna work. I said, but you have the other things you try to do, like you wanted to start a game show, and then, that takes time to develop. You're trying to start a dance class, and that takes time to develop. And you're trying to start a clothing brand by using a tailor to make your designs, which you don't know anything about designs. Oh, but yeah, but all of that works together. Now, me being a person that has been in business, I've tried to explain to the individual that what you're talking about doesn't make sense. But lo and behold, that person failed all of those things. Want to know who feels like it was not her fault? Her. How can you best explain that? I know it now. Mental illness. When it can't be explained, mental illness. And there's so many guys trying to hold fast in a relationship with somebody who is not there mentally. They're not sane. Okay? Maybe it's a woman listening to this and you have a guy or vice versa. You're dealing with a person that doesn't have the mental capacity to hold on to a functional relationship. That is Tiffany Henyard. She's not living anywhere in reality. And so, yes, we're making videos about her, but realistically, the lady needs to be in a mental ward. Because the reason why is we cannot explain the motivation for why and how she's doing it, not understanding the consequences for her, which will be long term. If she was any kind of intelligent person, she would have resigned. But when they double down on stupidity, it is only because psychotic disorders. And some of you guys are dealing with some person with a psychotic disorder, and you better run fast. Get the out of there now. As the old folk used to say in the black church, while the blood is still running in your veins, you better go, because that person can come up with any reasoning as to how they're going to deal with you. Let me give you an example. Who's this judge in Pennsylvania? You know this judge in Pennsylvania who shot her boyfriend while he was asleep and tried to kill him? Yeah, that lady. That judge tried to, Sonia McKnight, explain to herself, you know what? I'm going to shoot the guy. And when he wakes up crying, well, I'm just going to tell the guy, what's wrong with you? And then the camera won't catch the fact that I tried to kill him. And I can just act like I'm not there. Now, this is a judge who knows the law, but she rationalized this to herself. Of course, nothing worked out. She tried convincing the guy, oh, you must have shot yourself, even though you were asleep. Okay? Even though the guy said it's over, can't deal with you, the guy wakes up screaming, Mike, what did you do to yourself? She tried to kill the guy. Okay? Now, in 2019, she tried to do this with her ex-husband. She invited him over to help her move the furniture, tried to shoot him. It was ruled to be self-defense. So she felt like, I got away with it this time. It must be okay. But that person is crazy. That's why when you're talking to some lady or whoever else, whoever might be in your life, and they just don't get it, they keep making the same mistake. It's either one, they don't respect you, which is easier to deal with because I can just get rid of you. But if a person has a mental disorder, that's worse. Retribution can come from a mental disorder. And some of you guys are dealing with somebody with a mental disorder. Why? You cannot explain why they do anything. It doesn't make sense, right? Get the hell away from them. And Tiffany Henyard is going to go down as somebody that needs to be admitted to the psychiatric ward. Automatically, there's no doubt about it. And if you guys have ladies in your life that are like this, you better move them out of the way. I'll tell you what you can do. If you're afraid, you're scared, wait till she goes to work, okay? Wait till she goes to work, pick up your stuff, tell your mama to lie for you. And if your mama love you, she'll lie for you. Change your number, tell your mom you haven't seen her, come pick up all your shit, leave her stuff there so she can't say you stolen, and move away. Move away. Restraining order city, make sure you pull that trigger on the restraining order, brothers. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Freddie Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. We just finally just heard the bell. We're out.